induction that 1 into 2 into 3 plus 2 into 3 into 4 plus etc. plus n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 that is equal to n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 into n plus 3 whole divided by 4. So we have to prove this by principle of mathematical induction. Okay. So what is the first step? So first we call the given statement as P of n. So let P of n is equal to what? 1 into 2 into 3 plus 2 into 3 into 4 plus etc. plus n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 divided by what? So is equal to what? n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 into n plus 3 whole divided by 4. So first call the given result as P of n. So next step 1. Step 1 is what? Prove that P of 1 is true. So we have to show that P of 1 is true. That is equal to what? N is equal to 1. So when n is equal to 1, the LHS becomes what? LHS is equal to 1 into 2 into 3. This is n is equal to 1. So 1 2s are 2, 2 3s are 6. So LHS is equal to what? 6. So come to the RHS. Put n is equal to 1. So then RHS becomes 1 into 1 plus 1 into 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 3 whole divided by what? 4. That is equal to 1 into 1 plus 1 is 2 into 1 plus 2 is 3 into 1 plus 3 is 4 whole divided by 4. So 4 gets cancelled. So 1 2s are 2, 2 3s are 6. So both LHS and RHS is equal to what? 6. Therefore, LHS is equal to RHS. Hence, P of 1 is true. So the first step is completed. That is, we have to show that we proved that P of 1 is true. So next, step 2. What is step 2? Assume that P of k is true. So we have to assume that P of k is true. So what is P of k? That is, so the given statement becomes 1 into 2 into 3 plus 2 into 3 into 4 plus etc. plus n into n plus 1 into, so we have to assume that this is true for k. So in the place of n we have to write k. So k into k plus 1 into k plus 2, that is equal to what? RHS becomes k into k plus 1 into k plus 2 into k plus 3 whole divided by 4. This is P of k. For P of k, replace this is P of n means the variable is n. So P of k means replace n by k. The step 2 is we assume the given statement is true for some k. Okay. Then we move to step 3. So what is step 3? Prove that P of k plus 1 is true. So we have to show that P of k plus 1 is true. So then the statement becomes for k plus 1, 1 into 2 into 3 plus 2 into 3 into 4 plus etc. plus k into k plus 1 into k plus 2. This is kth term plus. So write down k plus 1th term. So in the place of k replace k plus 1. So k becomes k plus 1. K plus 1 becomes k plus 1. K plus 1 plus 1 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? K plus 2 into k plus 2 means k plus 3 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ because k plus 1 plus 2 becomes k plus 3. That is equal to, this is our LHS, that is equal to, what is the RHS becomes? In RHS also replace k by k plus 1. So k means k plus 1 into k plus 1 becomes k plus 2, k plus 2 becomes k plus 3 and k plus 3 become k plus 4 whole divided by what? 4. So we have to prove this condition. Okay. So for that consider the LHS. P of k plus 1 is also true. So from the principle of mathematical induction, now we can say that the given statement is true for all natural numbers, right? Because we already proved that P of 1 is true. In the next step, we assume that P of k is true, and also finally we prove that P of k plus 1 is also true. So by the principle of mathematical induction, so write down at the end, by the principle of mathematical induction, the given result is true for all natural numbers. You must write this. The given result is true for all natural numbers. Understand? So we move on to next problem. Next problem is, prove by mathematical induction that 1 into 3 plus 2 into 3 square plus 3 into 3 cube plus etc. plus n into 3 power n, that is equal to 2n minus 1 into 3 power n plus 1 plus 3 whole divided by 4. So we have to prove this by mathematical induction. So first consider this result as P of n. Let P of n is equal to 1 into 3 plus 2 into 3 square plus 3 into 3 cube plus etc. plus n into 3 power n is equal to what? 2n minus 1 to 3 power n plus 1 plus 3 whole divided by 4. So first consider the given result or given statement as P of n. Next, step 1. So what is step 1? Prove that P of 1 is true. So prove that P of 1 is true. That is our step 1. That is what? N is equal to 1 means it becomes 1 into 3. Consider the first term, that is 1 into 3. 1 3s are what? 3. So LHS is equal to 1 into 3. 1 3s are 3. LHS becomes 3. So come to the RHS. In RHS also put n is equal to 1. So then RHS becomes, so 2 into n. So when n is equal to 1, it becomes 2 1s are 2 minus 1 into 3 power n plus 1. N means 1. 1 plus 1 plus 3 whole divided by 4. Right? Now simplify this one. 2 minus 1 is equal to what? 1. 1 into 3 power 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 3 whole divided by 4. That is equal to 3 square is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. Divide by 4. So 4 1s are 4 3s are. So RHS is also equal to what? 3. So observe that both LHS and RHS are equal to 3. So therefore LHS is equal to RHS. So the conclusion is hence P of 1 is true. So the given statement is true when n is equal to 1. Understand? So this is step 1. So next step 2. Step 2 is what? Assume that P of k is true. So the step 2 is we have to assume that P of k is true. Then the statement becomes 1 into 3 plus 2 into 3 square plus 3 into 3 cube plus etc. plus n into 3 power n becomes k into 3 power k. Just replace n by k. That is equal to RHS becomes 2k minus 1 3 power k plus 1 plus 3 whole divided by 4. This is what? P of k. This is step 2. In step 2, we have to assume that this is true for some k. Okay. Next, step 3. Step 3 is prove that P of k Okay, in the next step, take the common factor. So what is the common factor here? 3 power k plus 1 is the common factor, right? So in that what? In first and last term only. So write this 3 as it is. So I take common factor from first and last term. Take 3 power k plus 1 as the common factor from first and last term. So in the first term, the remaining term is 2k minus 1, right? Plus, so keep this 3 as it is. In the last term also, take 3 power k plus 1 as the common factor. The remaining is 4 into k plus 1 plus 3, right? This 3 here. Understand? Take 3 power k plus 1 as the common factor from first and last term, and I write the remaining terms, and the second term, that is plus 3, I write here. Whole divide by what? 4. Okay, now simplify this one. 3 power k plus 1 into, so 2k minus 1 plus, multiply this one. 4 into k, 4k plus 4 ones are 4 plus 3 whole divide by what? 4. That is equal to 3 power k plus 1 into, so here we have 2k plus 4k. 2 plus 4 is 6k minus 1 plus 4 becomes plus 3, because 4 minus 1 is 3 plus what? 3 whole divide by 4. Okay, in the next step, so 6k plus 3. So here take 3 as the common factor. So 3 power k plus 1. So here I take the common factor outside. So the remaining is, so 3 ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ 3 2s are 6, right? 3 2s are 6k plus 3 1s are 3. I take the 3 as the common factor plus what? 3 whole divide by 4. So here power is 1. 3 means 3 power means 1. So k plus 1 plus 1 becomes what? Because we have 3 power k plus 1, right? So I write here 3 power k plus 1 into we have 3. So for this power is 1. So add both the powers, that is 3 power k plus 1 plus 1. It is nothing but 3 power k plus 2. So for this I write 3 power k plus 2 into what? 2k plus 1 plus 3 whole divide by 4. This is nothing but our RHS. So therefore P of k plus 1 is true. So all the conditions are satisfied. At the end you must write, by the principle of mathematical induction, the given result is true for all natural numbers. Understand? I continue this session in my next session. I continue this topic in my next session. Thank you.